So, Icky, after this briefing, let's look.
Okay, here's the situation.
Okay.
I've done some deep database crunching.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, just keep it in tone with Icky's, like, what he's about to tell us? Like, what if one of these is just like, here's my photos of my holiday from the Bahamas. And look, you can see here.
Oh my god, if it was just a vacation photo shoot, I would crack up.
And here's me in front of the world's biggest ball of twine. And here's Murray trying to unravel the world's biggest ball of twine.
Here's Murray then choking on the world's largest ball of twine after I told him it wasn't candy floss.
And here's a picture of the feds trying to
get
Murray a silver ball.
And fourth,
And thus,
deactivate her giant attack.
Oh, by the way, that's
attack
totally a
robot.
giant attack robot.
Oh, really, Sly? I'm serious.
See, it's got angry eyes and
Has
everything.
a giant attack robot.
Oh, and growly teeth.
It just looks like a water tower.
And imagine if that was actually a boss.
That would be amazing, but...
I hate to be that guy,
ready
Deadly,
to
but
make a
I
play
think you're
for the
full of
big
shit.
guy.
A giant
think that's just a
tactical
water
robot?
tower.
Really?
Seriously,
What
I
world do
can
you think
believe
we
some
live in?
things.
A world
I
where
got
there's
you
a giant
out of prison and I
mechanical
can put you
owl
right
trying-
back in, Sly.
No, it's like, yeah, well, gee, Sly, it's like we live in a world where we're trying to take out a giant mechanical owl. You thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah. For shame. Anyway, so now as Sly, we're going to actually do some more missions. But I was about to make a really bad joke, but fuck, screw it, I'll do it anyway. It's like, and here's Murray actually managing to completely eat the giant world's largest ball of twine after even being told it wasn't candy floss.
Well, also, sometimes these wolves can unleash ticks or spiders on you.
Yeah. And then after 4 to 5 hours later, Murray managed to create the world's largest new thing, of which I am not allowed to say what it was due to censors.
Oh my god.
I swear on my life, but the feds won't let me.
Anywho,
I
yeah,
love
so
to talk about really, but the Fox censors wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. Okay. So so now, in all seriousness, yes.
Wait, about
so
Ridley?
They would have foxes like their primary news source here.
they would. It would make so much sense. So no. So in all seriousness, now, Icky, what happened? What was it like in Prague?
Well, to give the audience a little bit of context first, back in 2013, I went with my high school on a trip to Europe. Specifically, we went to Amsterdam, Brussels, and Prague, all in that order. Thing is, I really enjoyed Amsterdam. Brussels is probably the highlight of the trip, just because I was with all my friends before we graduated. And then we got to Prague. We had like a late night flight. We had to go to the Czech Republic. We got there at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had to take like an hour or two long trip to the hotel, which was, I mean, the rooms were big. It's just that the quality of the hotel wasn't all that great.
Actually,
Was it like a hostel?
No, it wasn't exactly a hostel. It was like this big pyramid-looking hotel. If I can find an image, I'll have James edit it in, because I'm not going to be there ever again.
That would
Logan
be-
does
that
his
would be
editing in
it.
this.
I edited in the slide.
And anyway, before you go on with your thing, Iki, the reason why Logan was hesitating there is that there's a rare chance where one of those rooftops with the generator on it will flash with red lightning, and it will hurt you.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
because it's
until-
always thunder
until-
snowing in Prague.
Right. It's not until later that that'll be a thing. But yes, there is a point later. Actually, yeah, I don't think it's not yet. I don't think it's until the mission itself that it starts happening. But yeah, later on you will have to be careful of those rooftops.
So it's kind of like the big parade in A Hat in Time, where you have to keep on the move. You can't stay on the rooftops.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, okay. Now I remember what I'm doing. I'm actually doing the clue bottle hunt now. Now that I have Sly.
That makes sense.
All right, well, this gives
right.
us more time to talk about Prague.
Yeah. So
Alright.
continue telling me about Prague. So was it really was it really as gothic as it's being shown here?
Not quite. I mean, this is just a cartoon depiction of Prague in the loosest sense of the word, because, you know, they're going for a Halloween spooky haunted theme in this case.
Right.
In the middle
Okay.
of winter thunder snow. But there was the world's largest graveyard
Ooh.
that we went to on the sole day we were able to explore Prague.
On a rough estimate, how big was it?
I kind of forget how big. If I had photos, I'd show you. But it was huge. It was old. I'm sorry if I'm downsizing it by a really stupid degree, but that's how I personally
okay, it's
remember it.
okay. Keep going.
You gotta remember, this was like 5.5 years ago.
I think he's trying to process how big exactly it was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, just
Was it
you always-
as big as Arkham Asylum?
No. No.
Is it as big as a city, or more like on par with what we would call a town here in America?
I'd say it's like the size of Central Park.
Actually, if you
Like
want
half the
actual
Central
size,
Park?
I think a better comparison, James, would be Arkham Island, because remember, in some depictions, the asylum is on an island.
That's
fair.
true.
Oh, and just like
Also,
that.
that's why he wasn't responding to us. He was disconnected.
Well,
Hopefully, he'll be back in a bit. We'll just keep that going.
yeah, I did.
So-
I did notice a little bit of noise coming from his end, so maybe his folks had to call him up for something. And look at there. There's the giant attack robot, and I still think Bentley's full of shit.
Yeah, it's not attacking anything. It clearly should be able to detect a threat.
Yeah. At the meantime,
Maybe he thinks we're not a threat.
For all-
The cur.
well, the way we look at it is just a regular old water tower with legs. Welcome back,
Yeah.
Geeky.
Oh,
Welcome back,
Christ,
Ricky.
I think the Pragian gods cursed me, condemned me,
How
and
so?
I don't
How
blame
was that
them
just
for a
it?
second.
Yeah, it was just an internet thing, I think.
Anyways,
Welcome back, Ricky.
Okay.
Yeah, so continue with what it looked like.
okay, so you gotta understand, we were there in like the very end of the winter. Like I'm talking about like the end of March, early April. And we were going to spend Easter Sunday going to like this church or something, but instead we went to the mass graveyard.
Right.
Also, that was the year of high school where I think we read, what's it called? Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. And at the time, I really did not like that story
read what?
because it was just kind of all around gross.
Oh,
for my,
So what? What is it?
oh my
Froggy
god.
gods have come down on him hard today.
TLDR,
'Cause I'm not hearing him on mine at all anymore.
TLDR, a young man,
Culture.
a young Czechoslovakian man
God,
is...
what it really would be that, wouldn't it? That this freaking gothic place where it is somewhat hinted at witchcraft or whatever. What is like the stipulate? What is the stigma around Prague? Is it, like,
What?
is there actually like bad gothic stuff happening here?
I think it's just the architecture, and they just decided, hey, why not take advantage of it?
I guess so.
As far as we're concerned, Prague may as well have been the centerfold for how Gotham City came to be.
Yeah, that makes
I wouldn't be
sense.
surprised,
Oh
actually.
my Christ, what
Welcome
the heck
back,
is going
welcome
on
back,
there?
Ricky.
There
The
you are.
Pragian gods are not liking how
Someone
to
must
see
really
the
hate
grand
me for this.
culture. I was making a joke of like, oh crap, the Prague, like the witches coven, they found us.
witchcraft.
Which is
But
yeah,
no.
no. So
which is fitting considering stuff we deal with later.
yes,
If I may continue uninterrupted.
please hurry.
Go ahead.
But no. Well, I didn't really, we were only in Prague for like one day before we had to head home. So we didn't get to see like, everything that they had to offer. But what we did see didn't really sit well with me.
Okay.
There was also one point where some of the classmates got
Swing and a miss there,
lost
buddy.
from the group.
Right.
So
What
that
happened
kind of took us on a bit of a off schedule.
Who
Also,
knows?
since it was the dog days of winter, it was freezing cold, it was flurrying, and we had to walk like this mile-long bridge just to get to and from the hotel.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Devil damn.
And
Actually, real quick, why is it called Dog Days?
the dog days of
I
winter?
don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the dog days of summer. I guess it'd be like the cat days of winter.
I guess.
They are as cold and heartless.
Cats are assholes.
There's
Cats are
curmudgeons.
lovely.
Actually, I shouldn't be saying that. Actually, I don't think I should be saying that because according to Logan, I am dating one.
Yeah.
Hey!
Wow. Okay, no.
Meow.
Makes you a complete and unapologetic furry.
You know,
That
I'm
was me
surprised we
looking for the
haven't seen a
group
cat
without
character in the
tricking.
series yet.
Hold on. Technically, we.
Raja is technically a cat.
Well, that and Neela. She's technically
That-
isn't she a leopard?
That and the general tiger guy, the other tiger from Sly 4.
Oh, Jefe?
Jefe?
Yeah, El Jefe.
Oh, hat.
Yeah, now that I think about it, though, I can't think of any straight cat characters in this game.
Yeah,
And
like
I mean,
proper
like
cats.
actual cats, not like fucking straight cats.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, I guess there's like the Siamese cat belly
Happy-
dancers
by the way, happy
from
Pride
the
Month,
fourth
everyone.
game.
Hey.
guess.
By the time
Wait, what?
it's gonna be forever until we actually
I
upload
know,
any of these
I
parts.
know.
But we're recording this in the
You'll
right
know
month of
when we
June.
recorded this.
Yeah.
Just a few days after Father's Day, no less.
Happy Father's Day! Instantly
Literally
dating,
a
Happy
day.
Father.
Literally a day
instantly
after.
dating this video.
Happy Father's Day, Sly. Sly's like.
It's 4th of July, you dingus!
It's fucking Halloween. Get your shit together.
Oh, can I just okay?
No,
Can I actually like? Can I say? Can I say one of my like deepest like regrets with our Sonic 06 playthrough?
What's that?
What's up?
So okay, so the joke I made originally, like when we were like, oh, well, we killed Solaris, therefore they don't have a god to worship anymore. So it's like, oh yeah, so this parade. At the time I was joking like, this parade's in honor of Arbor Day, everybody. But then only after we recorded it did James tell me, it's actually, if we continue at this rate, the last part's going to upload on 4th of July.
Well,
with the fireworks and everything, I should have made it be like, well, so happy 4th of July, everybody.
America. Fuck yeah.
to be fair,
so
we wouldn't have known that unless I did all the scheduling
I know.
like afterwards.
I know. Also, I now love the idea Icky's just put in my head of without the god Solaris, Soliana was doomed to become America. Now it's just the city of Detroit.
Oh.
Oh.
And Sonic's like,
actually,
Sonic's like, how long have I been away?
How long is this gonna go on?
Actually, if you don't mind my backpedaling to a previous joke about the whole Father's Day and just confusing it with other states, it's like,
It's actually the 4th of July, Sly.
no, it's Arbor Day, and then all of a sudden Carmelia pops up.
No, you idiots! It is clearly St. Patrick's Day!
No. It would have been Cinco de Mayo.
And then Neela just
that.
chimes and says, "It's my birthday, you twits."
Ha.
Funny
And by the way, just to catch everybody up, yeah, Neela's still an actual like a villain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a
they don't-
jerk.
Yeah, they don't pull any punches anymore. She's a straight up villain now.
She's double-crossed us.
In fact, I know it's got. To be fair, this game's already 14 years old. I have no shame in saying it. She's the main antagonist of the game now.
She double-crosses everybody.
Yep,
Evil.
everybody.
Well, I wouldn't say she's like the main antagonist, but she definitely is like a major villain that we're gonna be dealing
She
with.
may as well be the main antagonist, considering what happens at the end.
True.
She is.
But
that's
then
just
you
kind
would
of
also
like-
you would also argue. I was gonna say you would also argue she no longer is really Neela after that anyway.
Yeah.
Right. We'll get to that. We'll get to that dumb shit later.
Yeah. For now, let's
Okay.
just enjoy the bitter cold of Prague at night.
Yeah, how cold? Yeah, how cold can it get there?
Way too fucking cold.
Really?
And I thought Amsterdam was cold. Like, we had 0 heating in the hotel there.
Oh.
But for God's sakes, like,
Oh.
Prague was just on another level.
Bentley? Yeah, Sly? Do you mind sending me down some pants?
Oh, that's right. We don't have.
Actually,
pants, do we?
he technically he would have pants in that movie if we had one.
Yeah.
But we are getting
Sorry,
a TV
lost
show,
the
baby.
Cooper. But the Cooper gang is back.
Well, hopefully we're getting one with Netflix.
Oh, actually,
Or
isn't
was it
on-
Netflix or who?
I
what
don't
are
think
they
it's on
doing?
Netflix.
It's gonna be on Cartoon Network. Same
Okay.
as that one Mega Man cartoon that's coming up relatively soon.
We haven't heard
Considering-
anything about that cartoon in
Yeah,
months.
the only thing
Yeah.
yeah, me neither. The only thing I'm concerned about with it is that unless something's changed, I've been told it has the same crew, probably not the same writers, but I think like the same animation team that did Sonic Boom. And I kind of hope it's not the same writers because, in my opinion, I'm not entirely confident that Boom's writing style would mesh well with what we know.
you know
about
what?
Well,
Sonic.
no,
It's funny you
Yeah.
say that though. It's
The
funny you
biggest,
say that.
the biggest problem with
Can I should probably mention
Go
this
ahead,
real
James.
quick, but
Yeah, go
because this is
ahead.
actually rather important. I actually learned not too long ago. The main writing staff of Sonic Boom, when it was like during season 1, season 2, they don't work on the show anymore. Like they got
don't?
they got a new brand of writers
Oh.
now.
are they any good?
I wonder where those writers are now.
They're still on Twitter, and I think they still comment every now and then. But like, no, like it's a new cast of writers, and honestly,
I don't know what I'm standing on.
I couldn't even tell. You're just standing on airs. But no, like I don't know exactly how.
It's
well
like
they're
Sly as a
writing this
ghost.
Ah!
Whoop!
Oh shit, is this the actual creepypasta level in Sly Cooper?
May as well be.
Wait.
Sly
is
was
there
dead
a
all
creepypa-
along. Bentley had a mental breakdown and went to Prague.
Wait, is there an actual creepypasta about Sly Cooper? There's gotta be.
There's
It's a
got-
How the hell
popular
should
anime
I be
franchise. There's
surprised.
gotta be.
There has to be there's a creepypasta for everything, dude.
How about we look it up?
Guys, I don't know if I should record this game. I got it at a garage sale where it was unmarked and labeled, and the old man who gave it to me looked really creepy. But
And when
should
I
play
came
it,
back to
right?
his house the other day, I was greeted by his wife, who said he's been dead for 7 years.
And then when I went back to check
And
on
when
the
I-
wife's tale, I found the house was abandoned.
Except for the grandma sitting on the porch.
This sounds like a very weird. This sounds like a very weird case in LA Noire.
Yes, it does. Go ahead,
just going back to continuing off that, but with the game, it's like, when I first turned on the game, it seemed to be working normally, but then all of a sudden, I realized everyone was growing mustaches. Then suddenly, everyone turned into Pomeranians. Then suddenly, they were all poisoning. I can't keep up my double damn joke without laughing.
Continue. What are you talking?
What happened
I love it
was-
when you're like,
and then-
you know how the joke's going. You can't keep it up. So what was the joke gonna
No,
end
no.
with?
You go first.
Where the fuck is this part going anymore?
No.
I don't know, but I want to watch more.
No.
Continue.
You know what would be befitting for a Sly Cooper creepypasta? It's like the game was playing just fine, but when it got to the cutscene, Sly had no hat. But then suddenly his hat crawled up his chest and went back onto his head. And then 5 minutes later, his head evaporated into the aether.
Yes.
And when I-
yes,
and when I was
yes,
playing
see
as
that part.
Headless Cooper
So
for
you're
the
basically
entire
playing
game.
HD collection.
Wolf, you should not be on that boat.
And then I drowned in midair.
And then I drowned in midair. And then when I had looked up from my game, it had been 1,000 years, and Calamity Ganon had ruled the earth.
Pop-Up still hasn't landed.
Kind of amazed the game's been able to run all these thousands of years.
Okay, we're almost done getting the glue bottles, and then
apparently my rights got sold off to Nintendo.
And then I looked into the refrigerator and there were 30 bottles of wine with paper inside.
Okay, can I actually just say right now, I think Nintendo, honestly, I think Nintendo could do a good job with this, because I feel like, thinking about it, I think the one, it could probably be argued, I think the one game genre that Nintendo hasn't fully delved into is stealth gameplay.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the
Like,
closest
in
they've
terms
done
of
to
the
that is,
Technically, they do every now and then in Zelda.
closest, yeah, I
Oh
was about
shit,
to
are
say.
you about to imply that we ought to get like a fucking a creepypasta Nintendo game?
No, I was saying also, yeah, the vault's right here.
A
so I was like,
stealth
already
horror
been
Nintendo
done.
game
It's
based
called
around
Five Nights at
creepypastas.
140 to
it's called. I was gonna say
Five
there's
Nights
that.
at
I was
WarioWare.
gonna say there's that, and it's also called freaking Ben Drowned.
That
Had a
too.
creepypasta Nintendo
But that
for
wasn't made by
years.
Nintendo. That was made by some
No.
guy in the fan base.
And we get this guy, and we get this thing.
We get a
which
hand.
It's
Oh.
actually very useful, especially for when you're using the alarm clock.
It's actually a third arm.
Oh, I was hoping it was a monkey's paw.
Oh, God.
no. It's called the long toss, and it
The
allows me
monkey's
to.
paw! The monkey!
It allows me to throw things much farther. So there. That is it for this little bonus part. Thank you so much for putting up with this crazy thing.
Yeah,
Thank you so
Go
much
on to the next
for
part.
playing my game.
I was about to say, for those of you that have been able to keep up with our tangents this entire part, kudos to you guys.
So join us in the next part when we'll actually do missions.
Yeah.
I know.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
And then when I turned off the video, I realized I was actually watching That's So Raven.